Arsenal's transfer latest. So there was a report this week from L'Equipe saying that Real Madrid and William Saliba's camp have been in talks for weeks, they say. And it's an intriguing one because Saliba, we know he's out of contract in a couple of years' time, and we know how Real Madrid like to operate, try to stay in contact with a player, get them to, run down their deal, get them on the free, or just get them on the cheap. And the contract situation with Saliba, that's something Andre Berta has got to get a firm grip on this summer. I mean, if there were signs or it became clear that Saliba, was hesitant about extending or wouldn't extend, is there an argument to sell him this summer?
There is definitely an argument. The thing is, again, I think Arsenal are in a really difficult position here with this. Whenever Real Madrid come calling for a player like this, the club whose player it is in a really tough position because A, you don't know exactly what the player is telling you or the representatives are telling you about, exactly what's going on behind the scenes. And I fully expect that what Real Madrid will be telling the player is just go along with it. Say, yeah, you're open to contract talks and all that sort of stuff, but just drag it out. And then it gets to a point, like you said, where it's either you're going to have to take it on the cheap with a year left or you wait for free, like we're seeing with Trent Alexander-Arnold and Liverpool here. So it's a very difficult situation for a club to navigate. I think this summer is going to be really, really important. Saliba is happy at Arsenal. There's no doubt about that. He likes it here. He's really enjoying it here. I think this summer is going to be really important for us. I don't see Arsenal selling him this summer, barring a ridiculous offer coming in from Real Madrid, which, to be fair, I just don't really see Real Madrid doing anyway, because it's not how they really operate now. The days of them spending that sort of money is gone. They'll much happily wait and get him cheaper. So I think you've got to. This is the summer to really attack to try and get him tied down to a contract. And it's going to be a tough job for Andre Berta. He's got no relationship really with Saliba or Saliba's people. Edu had one, but it's sort of starting from scratch with all that sort of relationship stuff. So I think Arteta's going to have a key role in it as well. For Arsenal, it would be really real boost if they could get Saliba tied down this summer and not let this sort of go into the final year. But my the pessimistic side of me feels like this could end up being one of those Real Madrid sagas that, unfortunately, as I said, if you're the club whose player it is a very difficult situation to get yourself out of. So we'll see. But yeah, it just worries me. It's just impossible as an Arsenal fan, let alone as an Arsenal reporter, to not be worried by what might happen with Madrid and Saliba. So and also as a club, I think you have to start kind of protecting yourselves as well in that situation and thinking, well, if this is going to happen, if we maybe have one more year left of Saliba, what can we do now to try and make it easier if he was to go? So it's a difficult one for Arsenal.
Excuse me. Yeah, certainly is. I mean, what you're saying now about a ridiculous offer being needed. I mean, I was looking back at Arsenal's record sales. Their record sale is still Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain for 35
Mm.
million 8 years ago. That seems crazy to think that he is still Arsenal's most expensive departure. But as we know, Andre Berta's got a good track record when it comes to getting good fees for players. I mean, like you said, it would be a shock if Real Madrid came forward with a lucrative sum this summer. But say, I don't know, 80 million, 100 million, would you, just in your eyes, what would it take if you were in Arsenal's position, if Real Madrid came forward with, say, 100 million or 105 million, even as low as 80 million, would you accept one of those, William Saliba?
You could not accept anything less than 100 million for the. I don't see how you could sell the best young centre back in the world for anything less than 100 million in today's current market. And even that, I kind of feel maybe not quite his market value because I think the sky's the limit when it comes to William Saliba. To be fair, he's not had the best of seasons, William Saliba, this season. Like he's not been great. There's been errors there in his game. I think Gabriel has certainly outshone him from a sort of individual performance type. Um, but yeah, I still think, given his age, given the quality, given the ceiling he has that I don't think he's reached yet potential wise, then I think you've got to be looking at. You would not be entertaining anything less than 100 million, in my view, but maybe even more than that in terms of true market value. But I just don't see Real Madrid paying that. The only thing that makes me think maybe they would is this, have a new manager coming in. It is going to be a bit of a rebuild at Real, and do they want a real sort of marquee signing to kick that off? And William Saliba would be certainly a marquee signing for that. But look, I hope it doesn't happen. I hope he signs a new contract. I hope Arsenal can continue to build with him and Gabriel at the back because that's just a fabulous centre back partnership to sort of build hopefully your success on. So I hope it doesn't happen, but it's got the it's got the ingredients of being one of those Real Madrid transfer sagas which we've seen play out so many times before with so many players.
Yeah, while that contract isn't signed, there's always going to be that fear amongst fans, isn't there? But anyway, so looking at the other end of the pitch, this is one from Florian Plettenberg. He said that Arsenal have added Ademola Lookman of Atalanta to their summer shortlist, and we know that Arsenal will be looking for a new striker and new left winger this summer, but Lookman, he's not really either of them. He's more of a sort of second striker, plays off the number nine. He's done very well in Italy, of course, but had a couple of spells in England. It didn't really work out for him. He is very talented, as we know, brilliant hat-trick in the Europa League final. If Arsenal do pursue this one, or do you think they should pursue this one? Is this one that you could see working next season?
I don't know. I mean, they're being linked with so many players. I saw Jamie Gittins was being linked with it by the German press yesterday as well. Sort of the local Dortmund press reporting that. And look, Arsenal will be putting the feelers out for a lot of left wingers, I think, in the build up to this summer. We know that Nico Williams is absolutely on that list as well. Whether that's one that ends up being done, we'll have to wait and see. But I like Ademola Lookman. I think what he's done since he's gone to Atlanta has been great. Like you said, he's been when he has played in the Premier League, it's been relatively underwhelming. But that doesn't mean that you couldn't come back and be a success now. So I just think whoever it ends up being, and I don't know at this point who it's going to end up being. I have no idea who it's going to. Just the same as I have no idea who the striker's going to be at this point. I still think it's all very, very open in those two positions. But whoever they do eventually bring in, they just have to make an impact. Because you look at this team, you look at this season, 17 games of the 35 in the Premier League, they've scored one or no goals. That's just not good enough. You can't win anything like that because too many games are on a knife edge and you're leaving yourself open at the back, like we see, to concede stupid goals. And suddenly 3 points have turned into one or none, as we saw at the weekend. So they have to improve. And it's not just about one attacker. They've got to sign two attackers, real goal threats, players who can score, who can make the difference, who can open teams up, who can just a bit of trickery and guile. And, I look at Lookman. He can do that. He is capable of that. He can beat a man. He can score from distance. He can score different type of goals. Jamie Gittins as well, who's very young and still relatively raw, I think, but he can absolutely beat his man, and he can open teams up with that sort of dribbling ability and someone who can run with the ball at his feet. I don't think Arsenal have too many of those type of players. So whoever it is, they've got to get it right. And I don't know, as I said, who it's going to be yet, but those sort of players, it's just a crucial part of the summer for Arsenal.